back to the Meeple Marathon and a impromptu game of Too Many Bones. With all of the excitement of the current Kickstarter coming to an end, I decided I wanted to play some Too Many Bones and decided why not record a video and put it up on the channel just in case anybody has been hiding under a rock and wasn't aware that the Gamefound campaign is ending. By the time you guys see this video, it will be ending later today. I believe it's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can do the math if you live somewhere else in the world. But this is the third and final big box expansion for Too Many Bones. So there's the base game Undertow, which we'll be playing today, and then this one is called Unbreakable, which takes you underground essentially. So you've got above ground, on the water, and now underground. And this is kind of wrapping up the trilogy that they always planned to do. That doesn't mean they will never come out with anything Too Many Bones in the future, but it's certainly not going to be like a big standalone expansion like Undertow was for Too Many Bones or Splice and Dice. So, actually, I don't even think Splice and Dice is standalone. Anyways, we are going to go ahead and get started here. I am not necessarily going to plow through the rules ahead of time, but I will explain how things are going here. If you are not familiar with Too Many Bones, it's essentially a kind of a strategic battle game, but very much with this D&D like character creation. So these are my two characters here. I'm playing two-handed. I'm playing with Duster and Gasket, and these are gear locks. So they're these gremlin-like creatures. Actually, Gasket's a robot. But who are going on this adventure to take on the Goblin Queen at the end of the river. So that's our goal, and as we gain experience points, we're going to be upgrading either their basic stats up here or adding skills. And what's interesting is that as you then get into a battle, which is going to be played out either on this or the flip side is the river battle mat, so you can see it's very tight, it's very strategic, very minute movements, but to activate these skills you are rolling the dice out. So there is a little bit of randomness to it, but there is no miss in the game. Even if you miss, you get to add to your what's called a backup plan here, which you can use for additional stuff. Anyways, there's a lot going on with this game. I find it just incredibly intriguing. The production value of the game is off the charts. I mean, it is one of the best. But this is a very heavy game. I've got my rule book sitting off to the side. I've got my reference sheets sitting here. As many times as I've played this game, I still need those on hand before playing the game. So keep that in mind. If it's something you've always been considering, I highly recommend you check it out though. So let's go ahead and get started. We are playing with the Gearlock Child expansion. I was super into the expansion. I pre-ordered it as the day it became available to pre-order, and it's okay. But what you do is you get the Daelorean special encounter right off the bat, always the first day, and then you got to find him in the loot to even get him active. So after weeks of preparation, everything is ready for the journey to hunt the latest tyrant. Before Obendar can be left behind, however, a new poster tacked up outside the Tipsy Troll Tavern catches the eye. It appears the Gearlock Council has some interest in locating a young Gearlock boy with unusual abilities. For some reason, the likeness on the poster seems familiar. Clearly, the council has a bounty on the child. Something devious is afoot. While on the trail of the tyrant, it's probably a good idea to be on the lookout for this kid and keep him under protection. The poster says he was last seen swimming out in Bay Biota. Let's check the map. Oh, this is the way. Okay, he's just a baby. I think he looks pretty cute. Gilly. Party decides to search for signs of a baby Gearlock rumored to be living in the Daelorean countryside. Shuffle the 5 Cradle loot cards, which I've already done, and into the loot deck. Immediately draw and proceed with the day 1 encounter from the top of the encounter deck. So you're always going to do this one. It basically, you could probably start reading it after that. So we're going to have a regular day 1 encounter now. Success! The escape from Obendar was draining, but now the real struggle begins. Better judgment stands at odds with the stomach grumbling. Obviously, it's necessary to get as far away from the city walls as possible, but doing so without finding cover to rest a bit and eat may have dire consequences before long. A dissonant symphony of whirring mechs overhead, shouting guards nearby, and a stomach in anguish serves as a reminder that no choice is safe, and this journey is already fraught with hardship. Okay, so for those of you not familiar, what we are attempting to do here is gain enough progress points, which we've just gained one here. So this is 1 progress point. And you can see we're also going to each gain a experience point, so we're going to be able to level up our characters real quick, and we are going to gain some loot here. So these day 1 and day 2 missions are almost always pretty straightforward. So let's now go to the choice we have to make. Keep moving. Each gear lock gains 1 dex stat, increases stat die by 1, or take a few minutes to get a lay of the land before proceeding. Turn over the top baddie chip in each baddie stack. So we have some options here. What's at the bottom here is ours no matter what. We're going to get this progress point. We're going to get a stat upgrade, and we're each going to get to draw loot. If we take this second option, we're each going to draw 2 loot cards. We're also going to be able to preview what each baddie is coming up. But I actually like being able to go ahead and increase my dexterity stats. So I'm going to take one of these special D6s, 1 for each character, and put a 1 into the slot next to dexterity. So you can see that each character has basic stats that they start with. So for example, Gasket here has 4 defense, whereas Duster here just has 1. So that's their base stat. And as they increase, you use these dice to increase that statistic. So Duster now has 4, and Gasket now has 5. And then we'll go down here, and we'll each draw a loot card. So we'll give that to Gasket, and we'll give this to Duster. Technically, you can trade them. All right, Dragon Scales. While this loot remains in your loot area, rolled defensive dice may be placed in locked slots. If a dragon was defeated this battle, you may trade this for an unlocked Dragon Center Scale Trove loot, if available. Okay, so I don't know if I'll use that, but Gasket can use loot. He really doesn't have much use for loot other than consuming it, burning it up to upgrade his, or turn on his power converter here. Let's see what Duster got. Duster got the Jungle Spear, single use. Anytime on your turn, roll 2 attack dice and deal combined damage to any non-adjacent unit. Does not cost dex. Alright, so that's handy. So it's like a one-off spear I can chuck at someone. So we'll keep that off to the side over there. Alright, now for easily the best part of the game, and that's building up your characters. So you can, at any point in time, you can increase your health and you can increase your dexterity. To increase these, you have to do a roll to see if you can do it. And I'm thinking, I believe you have to roll for Gasket too. He's got something a little different. No. Okay. All right. So I could choose any one of these skill dice to add. Now, if it's a star, I can start there. If it has an arrow in front of it, I have to do the star first. So I could, I've already got cut. I could do gut. I could go ahead and get my secondary canister, which is always good, but I think I'm going to try and increase my attack stat. This is the amount of attack dice I can roll on each turn. So I have a current attack stat of 1, so I have to roll 1 attack die, and I did not roll a bone, so this would be a bone. Since I did not roll a bone, I was successful. So you can see the more, now that I have this, the next time I want to increase it, I have to roll 2 dice. So the higher your stat in attack and defense, the greater the odds are of not being able to successfully complete that upgrade. All right, let's go over here to Duster now. So I had a plan, and it was centered around, I think I'm gonna right off the bat get Nightshade going. So Nightshade is my companion wolf here, my wolf pup, or wolf sisters, and she actually, I start the game with her initiative die, and then I can upgrade her on this bottom track here. So I think, yeah, I've never really spent a ton of time on her, so that's going to be my focus over here. I think I'm going to go this route, like infusion bracers, and then try and get D cells, maybe. I do love Duster's dagger though; it's such a great weapon. Anyways, but let's stick with this. Okay. All right. So we have done everything we need to do from this card, and so we will tick this now because the number day we're on does matter for when we actually enter a battle, and we will flip this over. Should I stay or should I row? Sailing the Siberon means building a raft, a task completed after a few hours of sweaty work. Time to push off. Before the maiden voyage on the USS Nobulus's Bane can begin, however, a flaming arrow kathunks onto a plank. A glance at the wood's edge reveals a clutch of aspiring pirates perched in a tree stand, knocking more projectiles to rain down from on high. To stay and fight means facing the group with mechs close on our heels, but fleeing now will allow the novice marauders to put holes in the raft's structure and in the raft's captain if any enemy manages to jump aboard. So let's see what our options are here. If I row, there will be trouble. All right, so both of these, you can see this little shield with the sword symbol means that a battle will ensue. So if I choose to row, I'm going to have baddie points and then add Krellin on the end, and Krellin like come out of the water. All baddies enter battle mat with 2 HP stat, place 1 wreckage chip on the raft, or if I stay, there will be double. So it's baddie points plus 2 mechs. All baddie points enter battle mat with a 2 HP stat. Now this one, no matter what, as long as we're successful, we're going to get this progress point and 2 upgrades. We're also going to get some loot here. So I think I'm going to go with the harder one, the one that gets me more. So let's put this right here. Now, baddie points. First of all, you can see that this one here would mean that we would do it in the water. This one here means we're going to do it in the land. We're already on the land, so we're good to go there. All right. So baddie points is the day, so we're on day 2, times the gear locks. So 2 times 2 is 4, and so that's our total baddie points. Now what you would do is you would try and take the highest baddie available that you can, but with max value of 4, we can't get a 5 in. These are the mechs and the Krellins. These only come in when told to, like now. So we're going to simply take 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, and then you always add mechs at the end. All right, so this is our baddie order. This from top to bottom is how they're going to enter the board, and you can see there can only be 4 at a time. So what we're going to do is reveal these one at a time and see what we got. So we have in position 1, we have a Dragon Biddy. He has initiative 4. All right, so let's put him there like that. And he is melee, which is interesting because he's a dragon. So he's melee, so he's going to go on this chip, and it said that each of them start with 2 HP, so we ignore that he gets 3, and we're going to put him on this melee spot because he's got the melee icon there, right there. All right, then we're going to flip this over. We have equipment. Now, equipment means something. This is why I always need my sheets, because I can never remember what all these mean. But equipment, when this unit enters the battle mat, roll a d6. Where is my d6? Oh, here it is. Ooh, and the round marker. I almost forgot the round marker. All right. And that's a 3. So this says increase attack stat by 1. Place an attack die on the baddie to remember its buff. Okay, so you get that. No, that's defense. Sorry. You get that. All right. So his equipment gave him a boost in attack stat. And so he's set. Now he's coming in. He is number 2. And he is also melee. And he gets 2 HP. So boom, he goes right there. Then next up we have another Dragon Biddy. So this is number 3. Boom, boom. And this is just such a satisfying, you know, this game would never, I guess it would work in digital format, but the tactile feel of the poker chips and the dice really just makes the game that much worth it. Okay, so everybody, no ranged baddies. All right, and so these are going to go off to the side now, and they will not come in until I have a chip available. So let's see here. 2 was 3. So he would go here, and then this guy is going to come in. This guy came in at 4. I forgot to do this when they came in. So he would tuck in right there, and this guy is also 4. So he's going to tuck in right here. Okay. So that's where they are. Now I need to go ahead and roll for myself. And ooh. All right, so anytime there's a tie, obviously Duster's gonna go first, and anytime there's a tie, the gear lock, you can decide, but most of the time the gear locks take the initiative. So this is our initiative order. Again, you know, the fact that you don't see the baddies coming up, and you know, if you had them all memorized, I guess you could have a good idea of what was coming, but you roll your die for initiative. Now this initiative is set for the battle. There are some skills that can move your initiative, but it's just a really nice randomization mechanic. Okay. So, all baddies enter the battle mat with 2 HP. Now we get to decide where we are going to start. So Gasket here, he's a melee ranged character, as stated right here, so he can start on either one of these. And he's going last. And God, both of those guys are weakened. See, this is why the game's so heavy. Look at this list of things here. Place a weaken effect die on a target, but Duster or Gasket cannot be weakened because he is a tech, built-in mech tech. Yeah, so we're gonna put him right here. That way he becomes the focus of these two guys. He won't have to spend a dex to move. They're going to get to move anyway, so it's not like I need to try and run away. Alright, now Duster, who has the innate ability Shadow Dweller, can start anywhere on the map. And let's just remind myself, Careless 1 is this unit takes true damage. If they roll a bone, it's going to take 1 damage. And Detonate, I'm pretty sure, is at the end of movement phase if this unit is at less than full HP, which is not going to happen because less than full, yeah. So if it just takes 1 damage, it will defeat itself and deal true damage. Okay, I really don't want that guy near me, but maybe I can hit him and then run away. No, because the end of the movement step. So Duster is actually going to sit up here. See, the problem is that there's a lot of strategy just in this part of the game. Both of the dragons here are going to target Duster because she has the most HP at the moment. But Steambot. All right. Okay, so a few things here. Gasket gets to start with this on his 5 side in a locked spot. And he's going to spend that hydro. He's going to spend his hydro to do stuff. He also, his Steambot innate ability allows me to put his defense halved, rounded up, out. So, yeah, we're going to do that. So he gets to start with some defense. He doesn't have to roll for his defense. Duster, Nightshade will come out once Duster has received half of her, or has lost half of her HP. Okay, but right now then she has no way to do a ranged attack. I'm almost willing to just take it from the Detonate 2, because then the Detonate 2 will take out this guy who's going last. Oh, let's see here. Detonate. At the end of the movement phase, if its unit is less than full HP, it will defeat itself and deal true damage to each adjacent position. So, yeah, I guess so. Alright. Unfortunately, you always have to move before you attack. So I cannot attack this thing. But if I can just do 1 point of damage... there is stuff, if Nightshade was on the board, I could use. But anyways, okay. Alright. So I finally have decided on a position here. I'm wondering if I should even like go up here just to spread some things out. Nah. Okay. Alright. So now we get to go ahead and start. So Duster is going to go first. Duster has a dexterity of 4, which means she can roll 4 dice right now. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and roll Promise of Prey. Now this is a die that won't be used until Nightshade comes out, but I can go ahead and roll it now. I'm also going to roll my 1 defense die I can have, and so that leaves me my 2 attack dice. So perfect, that equals 4. Alright, so I'm going to roll these up and we'll go through what happens. Okay, so I rolled some stuff here. I rolled a bone. Now on a skills dice, you can either slot your bone into here, and as you reach up here, you can gain certain things, or I can put it back. I'm going to put it back. I get this, so I have 1 defense now, and I have 2 attack. Yeah, so what's going to happen is that I'm simply just going to take this guy out because he doesn't have any defense yet, and he's not going to detonate or do anything like that. So this sits over here, and at the end of this phase, one of these guys will come in. Alright, so we create a discard pile of him, and yeah, so that was pretty successful. Okay, so then next up we have Blue Go, which is this guy. So the Dragon Biddy does not need to move. It's already adjacent to somebody. It's going to weaken Gasket, but Gasket cannot be weakened. So then it's going to simply roll 1 attack die. And it's going to hit Gasket for 1. So we can take this down like so. Okay. Alright, and then Yellow is going to go next. And what's nice is that when the next guy comes in, he's going to be last no matter what. So this guy is going to move 1 of his 2 movement. He's also going to try and weaken. Can't do it. And he hits for 1, so we will remove that. Alright. So now Duster gets to go. I mean Gasket. I'm going to get these guys confused all day long. So I could move. So I've got 5 dexterity, but I need to roll this guy. Hotfix is going to give me a defensive die if I roll that. Otherwise I have to take this down. Cut means that I could go ahead and get rid of this guy here. Maybe maybe we'll do that. So if I'm going to move for 1, that means I have 4 dice I can roll. So I can roll this one. That's 2, 3. Cutting him is not actually going to do anything, so let's try and do that. Is that what we do? Or do we just roll this? No, let's cut him, because... Alright, so let's do this. I'm going to push over. There's my 1 dex. And here's the remainder of my 4 dice. Okay, so... some things happened here. And I got exactly what I wanted, actually. I got a defense to add. Slide this over. And I am able to put a bleed token on this guy. So he's got all of this stuff on him now. So this actually comes back to me because I'm a robot. Normally you'd have to exhaust your skills dice, but Gasket doesn't have to. He does have to tick this down. So that becomes a 4. I'll have to roll that again, and he hits him for 1. So what's going to happen now is that that guy loses 1. Now he activates and bleed. I'm almost certain this unit takes 1 true damage at the start of its turn. Yep. So here it is, start of its turn, 1 true damage. Boom, he is gone. So this guy is gone, never got a chance to attack. And so these guys are both done. So we're going to push all this back. We're going to push to round 2. Now, since there are some open positions on the board here, we get to flip over these last 2 guys. Now, the mechs are going to come in out here. So we need our D6. This first one's going to come in at 3. Which is kind of helpful because he looks like a big bad fella. Now, he is coming in with 2 armor. This guy, if he had gotten a chance to roll, would have rolled 1 defensive die on his turn, but he never got it. This guy comes in with 2 armor, but then he's not going to roll a die ever again. All right. And so he starts there, self-repair. Pretty sure does nothing when he comes in. We need some health chips. So boom, and then this guy is going to come in. Spiderbot is coming in at 1. Okay, look at that. Interesting. Okay, so let me just look and see what self-repair and disruption does. I don't like disruption, I don't think. Advance the round counter to round 6 at the end of the round. Definitely don't like that. So I want to get rid of that guy as quickly as possible. Oh, but there's so much in the way. All right, so with the bot has equipment. So he increases his initiative die by 2. So normally he comes in at 2. He now becomes a 4, which means he jumps ahead of Gasket. Okay, now disruption I don't want to have happen, but he's tucked over there. Self-repair at the start of this unit's turn. Place defense dice totaling the number on it up to the stats. Okay, so he doesn't get to start with this. Yeah, he does. Okay. All right. We know what bleed does. Gasket cannot be affected by bleed. Unfortunately, Gasket cannot move diagonally. Nobody can. But if this guy disrupts the whole thing, then yeah, it's going to happen. So I'm just trying to think of whether I want to go ahead and use my jungle spear or not. Possibly. Okay. All right. So round 2. Everybody starts over. Duster. Yes, I think we're going to go ahead and use this Jungle Spear to try and take out this guy right here. So single use. I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to roll 2 attack dice. I'm targeting this dragon right here. And I got exactly what I needed. 2 hits. Boom. 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 All right. And that did not take any dex or anything. So this is just now discarded. All right. So now I have my full amount of dexterity. 1, 2, and then roll 2 attack dice, maybe? Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, and then I've got 2 more dexterity left. Roll 2 attack dice, and I crushed him. All right, so he goes there, he goes there, he goes there. All right, we're doing pretty good here. So now blue would have gone, not here. He would have gone, not here. All right, the spider bot though gets to go because of his equipment. He jumped ahead, so he's going to move 2. It really doesn't matter. He's going to go 1, 2. I know he technically has to come that way. All right, so he can make me bleed though, which is unfortunate. But maybe it won't hurt me that much. All right, I'm pretty sure he's got to hit me too. Oh no, he just makes me bleed no matter what. Okay, so, oh, and he was supposed to start with a 2 defense on him as well. That jerk. Okay. Oh no, he's ranged, so he just stays right here. He doesn't even need to move. He's still targeting Duster though, because Duster's the strongest. He's gonna roll 1 die for 1 attack. So this comes off, and Duster's now bleeding. Okay. Gasket now. So Gasket's gonna do his darndest. It's darndest. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. So he used 2 decks. He's got 3 dice, and this has got to be one of them. I mean, this has got to be perfect, so... Oh, because his cut die just places the bleed effect. It doesn't actually do damage. I don't think there's a side that does damage. But to get rid of these guys with shields would be nice, because it's going to do true damage. So he moved twice. There we go. That's the best we can do. All right, so we got to tick this down. That's been used. He is going to bleed. So I need another bleed die. There's one. Alright, so he's going to bleed. And unfortunately, this just goes to his shields. Boom. Like so. But I can take my cut die back. Alright. Oh wait, no. He is a mech. So this guy is... Hold on. This guy cannot be bled. So that was stupid. I'm going to roll 1 more. Alright, so this guy, I really just did nothing. Took this away. Gosh. Yeah. Alright. Well. So he's going to get to go now, finally. He's going to do self-repair too. We're just going to do this. Put that back. And then, okay, so he doesn't do disruption unless he rolls a bone. Which he doesn't. So he hits Gasket for 1. Okay. Alright. So R3. There's nobody left in the baddie queue. So we are just going to go ahead and get started with Duster, who has to lose one of these. Just going to keep that there. So, yeah. I mean... I think maybe we try and get rid of this guy first. Boom, boom. So that was 2 dexterity, and then I'm going to roll 1 and 1. so might as well slot that there and slot that there, but I missed. Okay. And these 2 dice can come out. So now it's the Spiderbot's turn. It cannot make me bleed any more than I am. So this is not true damage. The bleed is though, so that goes like that. Its turn is done. So now Gasket gets to go, and Gasket is going to roll all these up. Okay, so Gasket has some stuff here. This one gets slotted. This one gets spent, which unfortunately just does that, and he's going to gain an array back, which is obnoxious. Now, this green bone means I have to activate my backup plan. But I could put these 2 bones down first and get to dehumidifier, or I could just do, yeah, let's do that, just in case. Okay, so this goes like this. So I decided to slot these in first, now activate it, so I get dehumidifier, which means I can increase this to 2, and I can increase this by 1. Increase this, each one of those by 1. So that's what I got for that. But unfortunately I didn't make any progress on this guy. So he gets to go, he gets his 2 shields back, and he's gonna roll 1 attack die, and he's gonna hit him for 2. This is not going well. All right. So everybody goes back. Everybody was kung fu fighting. All right. When we get to round 6, it's everybody's going to take a true damage at the beginning. So eventually these guys will probably die out faster than me, but we'll see. I may need to shore up my defenses here. Okay. So Duster needs to take a true damage because of bleed. To my knowledge, there's nothing that can get rid of bleed, which stinks. All right. So yeah, she's not quite. I need 1 more damage for Nightshade to come in. Okay, I think we need to continue focusing on this guy, even though. No, I'm gonna go after the Spiderbot. So I have a 1 defense stat, and I've got 1 defense die slotted, which means I cannot roll for defense. So I might as well, I can only roll 2 attack dice. So yeah, even though I have 4 dexterity, this is the best I can do. So maybe I should move. You know what? This guy should have attacked. Hold on. Retroactively, when this guy attacked, I'm now adjacent to him, so he would not have attacked Duster. He would have attacked. This is how I was. He would have attacked me for 2. Right? Technically, my 1 shield would have come off. And so I would have been like this, but now start of my turn, I'm now like that. But let me see, when does Nightshade come in? If Duster has less than full HP before battle, she will deploy Nightshade. If Duster has full HP before battle, at the end of any round, when Duster so I gotta wait till the end of the round. Crap. Okay. So I believe this is where we're at now. And so I can roll this as my 4 and just stay put. Yeah. Both of these guys were targeting me, but now they're gonna both target Gasket. Alright, so this, whoops, I can have, and I can lock up there, I believe, or maybe it goes into active, not sure. Place on a baddie, and it goes in a lock slot. Okay. Alright, one of these. And what did I say I was attacking? This guy. So there we go. That was a pretty good roll. All right. Sorry, now that we've got all that out of the way. Let's see here. It is Spiderbot's turn, though. He is now attacking him. Normally he would try and make him bleed, but he can't because he's Gasket. So he's simply going to roll 1 die and hit Gasket for 1. Okay. Now, Gasket gets to go. So unfortunately, Gasket doesn't have any range. I need to get him something that he could use range on. He is just going to shore up his defense here. So there's 1, 2 attack dice, and 2 defense. Yep. All right, so I've got that. I've got this, so I need to spend this here. I've got 1 there, and then I hit this guy for 3, which means that's going to come off, and then I'll actually hit him. All right, and then he's going to get to go. So he gets this back, and then he is targeting Gasket, and he hits him for 1, so we take that off. Now this all comes back. Now, as we push into round 5, Nightshade can jump out, and I can put Nightshade anywhere I want. So, question is, yeah, we're going to go right there, and hopefully Duster can take care of the Spiderbot. All right, and Nightshade gets to come in at initiative 6. So, actually, let's have Nightshade go. No. All right, so as Nightshade comes in, we can do Promise of Prey right there, which means Nightshade is going to get double the points. And all right, so yeah, I guess we'll let Nightshade go first. All right, so Nightshade really just doesn't need to do much. Gonna roll 2 attack dice. This will be times 2, Promise of Prey, and so we hit this thing for 4. So this thing is gone. Boom. Very nice. That's a mech. That can go there. So Promise of Prey is now exhausted, so it has to go over here. And Nightshade's done. Duster now has to lose a health because she's bleeding, and she's already got a defense die, so she will just roll her 2 attack dice here and hopefully hit on 1. Yep, and there we go. All right, so that, ladies and gentlemen, probably took me a little bit longer than I would have liked, but that was a successful battle. So that's essentially really all they are now. They're going to get progressively harder, but you're going to get progressively better. So let's bring everybody back and let's talk about what needs to happen now. So I now go through my recovery phase, and I have 3 options. I can either rest and recover, I can search for better loot, or I can scout the area. Now, let's see. Gasket is full health, so he does not need to recover. Nightshade is at full health, so she does not need to recover. Duster, however, does need to recover. Now, I could roll Flint and Tinder and recover maybe 3 if I roll well, but I'm... Yeah, I think we're good there. Okay, so I'm going to have Gasket, scout. So we're going to scout the, hold on, I need to roll the D6, and on a 2, I get to scout a 1-point bounty. All right. So Signal 2, I do not like this guy. He calls in other people, so we're going to move him to the bottom. All right, Scout successful, Recover successful. Now we get to deal with our loot here. We're each going to get to draw a loot card. 1, 2, let's see what we got. Here, Cradle, okay. If the Gearlock child is not in your party, add his mat to your loot area heavy with 1 skill die of your choice. Use outside of battle to add another skill die to the child's mat. Use during the battle to exhaust. Now, alright, so we are going to have Duster take the Gearlock child, and the Gearlock child's first is going to be this one right here, Forceful Distraction. Roll before battle. If you would take damage that would KO you, avoid the damage and instead heal for that number HP. Okay, so we have found the Gearlock child. And what does Duster have? Huckleberries. Single use, heal an adjacent Gearlock for 4 HP or yourself for 3. Well, unfortunately, Gasket can't make use of this, so I'll only be healing myself for 3. Alright, so we did our trove loot. Now let's train up our points. So let's see here. Gasket, I wanted to get a ranged attack, right? Blitz, Blast, Ram, Blast. But I have to do Blitz first. Okay. So Blitz first it is, because I want to be able to do Blast, but Energy Arc will be helpful. So we are going to start with Blitz, and that'll allow us to do Blast in future. So that goes there. This comes back here. This one comes out. This one comes out. These come out. All right, and so over here, what do I want to do? Duster's dagger can inflict bleed, but Gasket can inflict bleed. Throwing knives would allow me to do something adjacent. But infusion bracers, which is number 9 here. Let's look at the number 9 die real quick. Can do a decent amount of damage. There's a lot of 2s on there. So I think we're going to go with infusion bracers, unless Promise of Prey. Yeah. Is there. So if I went with Ferocity, yeah, I think I need to build up Duster. Oh, but I get 2 things, right? Yes. So yeah, let's go ahead and get Blast. Let's do it. I think I'm gonna have to get another canister soon, but okay. All right, so that was 2 here, and here. Yeah, I think I need to do that. All right, so let's go for the attack first. Attack stat. All right, so we were successful. No bones. So let's give her 1 more attack die. Gosh, she probably needs more defense too. Gasket probably needs more attack dice as well. All right, you live, you learn. Okay, let's move on to our next encounter here. Quitcher Snorbin. You guys can't read it down there, can you? Snorbin is a sleep-inducing herb closely related to the wound-salving auget. It looks almost identical, save for its dark red stem. Consequently, it's common for these 2 herbs to be mistaken for each other. Last night, apparently, someone did just that, and we've all woken up to a great commotion. Our raft has bucked the river's current and drifted much too close to land. This reckless heading will allow a greedy band of mercenaries the chance to leap on board. Paddling to the river's center may keep some at bay, but a giant Krellin has just lifted its gelatinous head out of the water, and it appears agitated. Okay, so let's see what our options are. It's too late, land ho. Okay, so this would be about, both these battles are on the water. So let's go ahead and just flip this thing over now, so you guys can see what the water side looks like. If you are unfamiliar with Undertow, there it is. All right, it's too late, land ho. Baddie points, which we're on day 3 now, so it would be 6 baddie points. All defense dice, gear locks, roll this battle only count as bones. Wow. But that would be a great way to get up to my innate. Yeah. We're doing that. And so if you fill up your backup plan with bones, you have the opportunity to get your innate +1, which means you get to flip over to this starry side here, and everybody gets better from that. So yeah, we're doing this top one here, and it's really just baddie points. We're gonna get better loot from it, so yeah, let's do it. So baddie points is going to be a 5 and a 1. Pretty straightforward. This other one would have put 4 things on the map, so I like that too. This is a much better plan, other than the fact that all defense dice gear locks roll. Now that's important because I can go ahead and get this before we start. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's look at our baddies here. This guy's got equipment 2. Equipment 2 is going to give him increases HP stat by 2, so he has 4, so he's getting 5 HP. Yikes! And I don't like mischief. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, he is melee, and he is our first one, so he is right here. And you can see the starting positions are all on the outsides of the board here. Okay, so this guy is a 1. Oh, that's another signal, a 1-point baddie, and he goes at 6. Are you kidding me? All right, 2 here. Oh, great. All right, so he's at a 6. This goes back to round 1. He's at a 6. He's at a 5. Man. All right. Yeah, I almost want. So signal 2 means that for the first 2 rounds, he's going to bring in an additional 1-point baddie, which I cannot stand. All right, and then mischief is remove the number of dice from target's active slots before attacking. Okay, well, so Duster is going to take on this guy, and Gasket is going to take on this guy, which unfortunately this guy is ranged, which means he's going to be up here. Okay, so let's roll these out. Can Gasket even get to a 6? No. Gasket's slow. Freaking rope. Alright. Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. So there you go. That's how things are going to start. So I can start anywhere on the map. 1, 2. So I think we're going to just... This guy can shoot us from anywhere. And he's going to target Gasket. And then this guy is going to target Gasket. But he can only go 1, 2. So if we just start ourselves back here, yeah, there we go. I like that. Yeah, if Gasket starts right there, Gasket, sorry. Gasket has to start on one of these right here, but I actually want him here. This guy can go 1, 2 or 1, 2. He's not going to be adjacent to Gasket, right? You gotta be horizontal to attack, right? Right. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with has to be adjacent. So there's all these extra lines on here, but I still think that even on this mat, he's got to be adjacent. So that's what we're gonna go with. All right, so we are ready to go. I don't think I need to roll anything else. Okay, so this guy gets to go first. He adds a 1-point baddie to the baddie stack. So that's just going to go right there. He doesn't come on yet. All right. Then he's going to attack Gasket, who has the least amount of health. He gets to roll 1 attack and 1 defense die. And he gets 1 defense, and he has hit Gasket for 1. Okay. All right, then this guy's going to go, and we already said he's going to go after Gasket, but not be able to get to him. So, yeah. All right. So then Gasket's going to go. Gasket's going to spend 2 points of movement to move there. And then, so he's got 3 dice he can still roll. So I really just need that one to be successful. So yeah, let's just try and get rid of this guy. Okay. All right, so a hot fix means that I have to go ahead, or the green bone means I need to go ahead and spend my backup plan for a hot fix, which means I can increase that. And then I do put a bleed token on this guy, but I hit him for 2 anyways, so he's gone. All right. So I can get this back. Okay. All right. And then Duster is going to move up 1 right here. And so she's got 3 dice she can still roll. And I guess we will go ahead and roll you. And yeah, I mean, maybe I'm not going to get my backup, my +1, but yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Crushed it. All right, so this is exhausted now. I get those back, and we are going to start another round. So let's push these back. Let's go to round 2, and this guy gets to come on. He has 3 health chips. Should have saved some. He normally comes in at initiative 4, but he gets pushed to the end. And he comes in at melee right here. All right. Okay. So let's do this. This guy goes first. He's just gonna roll 2 attack dice, which is kind of nasty. All right, he only hit me for 1, which is nice. Actually, kind of like being just right there. Okay, so now Gasket's gonna go, and I guess Gasket needs to, yeah, spend 1 to move down here, and he's got 3, so I need to hit him twice. So yeah, let's do bleed again. I forgot, because I played bleed last time, I needed to tick that down. All right, so he's got 4 dice he can roll. We're just trying to get rid of these guys, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this ticks down. This did not hit, so I could slot it. I could save it, but I spent that, but I hit him 3 times. So, yeah, he's gone. He didn't last very long. Okay, and all we've got left is Duster here, and so Duster might as well roll 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, well, this is 2 bones that she gets to slot. Boom, boom. But she also hit this thing. She got all the way up to here, which is Cry Wolf, which isn't going to do any good because we just defeated this thing, and we are successful again, ladies and gentlemen. That was a 5-pointer. All right. So boom. Everybody comes back now. I am not going to heal right now because that means when I go onto the map, since I'm not at full health, Nightshade will get to come out immediately. So something to think about here. All right, I'm gonna get 2 things of loot each. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then some experience points. So night vision goggles, shuffle special encounter the Ebonite doorway into your encounter deck. Okay. And Gearlock's Guide to Advanced Tactics. During a training attempt, you may choose to train any skill on your Gearlock mat, ignoring prerequisites. Ooh. So I can get my D cells without my micro EMPs? Ooh, I like that. Also, I could get the vibro blades now. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and just spend this now to spend my training point on vibro blades, which is 7. This fella here. Yeah. Alright. And then this one, I will do this here in a second. Let's see what you got. Okay, Cradle. Ooh, I forgot to roll you. Alright, so he gets to pick another die. And we're going to go with the deflect effect. So there you go. Yeah. And then fully heal yourself if currently at 1 HP. Otherwise, heal for 2. Okay. So this goes up here, and Gasket during this phase can trade with Duster. All right, so we're at 3 points. 1, 2, 3. So we're halfway there. We've done that, and I already trained over here, so let's train over here. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and get our next canister, which is technically this one. All right, so now I'm going to be able to slot both of these. I'm going to be able to go to town with these and this one, and not worry about running out of hydro. All right, and since both of these guys, neither one of them are healing, I can go ahead and scout twice. Yeah, or do I want to try and get better loot? Better loot. What do I have to roll to get better loot? Yeah, let's do that. I get to roll 6 attack dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for every bone, I get to draw a loot and keep one. Now I'm discarding this. And I did not roll a single bone, ladies and gentlemen. 6 dice and no bones. Well, that serves me right. Okay. Well, that was a bust. Well, we're not going to be doing that. We will roll this, and that's 2, so we get to flip you over. And yeah, I'm fine with that guy. So we can leave him face up like that. And we're good to go. All right. So at this point, we are roughly halfway through this encounter. So I'm going to stop the video here so it doesn't get going on too long. Again, the whole point of this video was just the sheer excitement I have for the Too Many Bones Unbreakable campaign, which by the time this video airs will be on its final, say, 8 or 9 hours. So hopefully you see this in time to rush over and pledge the campaign. If any of this seemed interesting to you, go check it out now. Unbreakable looks like a great way to get into the Too Many Bones universe. It's similar to Undertow, where it's a standalone expansion, but it's not quite as big as Too Many Bones, the base game, which means it's not as expensive. So the price point is better. You only get 2 gear locks, but they have 3 additional ones in the campaign that you could add, and they have a lot of extra goodies. Or you have the opportunity to get everything. Technically, you could pledge for everything in this campaign. I think it's going to cost you $1,100, and you literally get everything there is for Too Many Bones. But if you've got $1,100 sitting around, yeah, send it my way. Yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this video. I will post the remainder of this little game here, this encounter, or this, I don't even know what you call it. But we will make it to the Goblin Queen, hopefully, and I will post the remainder of that on an extended playthrough video. So be sure to check that out if it's something you're interested. But for right now, be sure to go check out the campaign on Gamefound, not on Kickstarter, on Gamefound. And if you happen to watch this after Friday the 4th or 5th, Friday November 5th, you just got to it late, they will at some point open up their pledge manager for late pledges. So just have it on your radar. All right. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.